best version I've ever heard in my life. So I'm going to do this.
What if we told you Britain's Got Talent left out a few interesting bits about Sydnie Christmas? Yep, her voice gave everyone goosebumps, and that golden buzzer moment was straight out of a movie. But hold on, there's a little more behind the curtain. Let's just say her story had folks whispering, scratching their heads and asking, wait, what? In this video, we're spilling the tea on what went down before and after that stage. Trust us, you'll want to stick around for the full scoop behind the sparkle. Sydnie's background and audition. Sydnie Christmas may have been greeting folks at the gym with a cheerful smile, but behind that front desk charm was a dream that had been simmering for years, and a voice big enough to stop Simon Cowell in his tracks. Yep, the 29-year-old from Kent, who once juggled rugby scrums with secret singing sessions, took a leap that shook up the Britain's Got Talent stage and left everyone, including Simon, doing a double take. Since she was a child, Sydnie had been quietly fine-tuning her voice, even if her day-to-day life didn't exactly scream future pop diva. Between rugby matches and shifts as a receptionist, she never let go of her love for singing. And when she finally walked onto that massive BGT stage, she wasn't there to play it safe. Nope, she brought out Tomorrow from Annie, the very song Simon Cowell has openly admitted makes him nervous. I haven't sung this in 24 years, she said with a grin, throwing in a cheeky comment about her age that got Amanda Holden giggling. Cowell's expression said it all. The man is known for his high expectations, and he's definitely not a fan of overdone, overly dramatic musical numbers. But from the moment Sydnie started singing, it was clear this wasn't going to be your average performance. Her version of the song had a soulful gospel flair that caught everyone by surprise and had the crowd on their feet before the final note. All 4 judges stood up to applaud, and in the audience, Sydnie's grandmothers were beaming with pride. Even after all the cheering and praise, Sydnie kept things real. Speaking to The Sun, she laughed. I did my audition and went back to work in the gym. Funnily enough, I am still on the rota. Apparently, she hadn't even quit yet, just hadn't gotten around to that meeting. But let's just say her schedule's gotten a lot busier. Sydnie announced her debut album, My Way, and a full UK tour, spilling the news on Instagram with the caption, I'm going on tour. Dreams really do come true. Let's have it. She's hitting venues across the country, and judging by the buzz, those tickets won't last long. To think, just a few months earlier, she thought it might be over. During a chat on This Morning, she admitted, on New Year's Eve this year, I thought my career was going down the pan. Getting roles in musical theater wasn't easy, especially when, as she put it, someone like me doesn't really fit that part. Well, look who's got the last laugh now. From gym receptionist to headlining her own tour, Sydnie Christmas is the kind of feel-good plot twist we all needed. And all it took was one unforgettable song and the guts to go for it. The golden buzzer and initial reactions. When Amanda Holden hit that golden buzzer for Sydnie Christmas on Britain's Got Talent, it wasn't just TV gold. It was a full-blown showstopper. 1 minute, Sydnie was standing center stage, pouring every ounce of emotion into her performance. And the next, she was on her knees in tears, drenched in confetti, trying to wrap her head around what had just happened. And honestly, viewers at home weren't doing much better. Social media was buzzing, judges were stunned, and Amanda was clearly having a "this is why we do this" kind of moment. Even Simon Cowell, who isn't exactly known for handing out compliments like free samples, admitted he was completely thrown, in a good way. I used to hate that song, he confessed, before calling Sydnie's performance brilliant and praising her control. Coming from the guy who practically invented the skeptical eyebrow raise, that's saying something. Judge Alicia Dixon didn't hesitate to point out Sydnie's rare appeal, predicting early on that her voice and presence could connect with viewers of all ages. Twitter quickly lit up with posts raving about her audition, many calling it the best of the season. But Sydney wasn't just a one-audition wonder. Oh no. She kept the momentum going, and with every round, she raised the bar. Her rendition of My Way in the semifinals had the crowd cheering like they were at a championship final. But it was her take on Over the Rainbow that sealed the deal. That performance didn't just win the judges over. It wrapped up the whole country and handed Sydney the crown as the 2024 Britain's Got Talent champ. Of course, with great talent comes great prizes, namely a cool £250,000 and a coveted spot at the Royal Variety Performance. And just to make things even sweeter, Amanda got to host the show that night, alongside her comedian bestie Alan Carr. Speaking on the One Show, Amanda couldn't contain her pride. "It's amazing," she said. "To be hosting and introducing her felt really special, and she and her family are just gorgeous." Amanda wasn't exaggerating about the bond. She and Sydney have clearly become close, with Amanda affectionately calling her our golden girl. Their friendship has gone far beyond the stage, like all the way to Corfu, where Sydney joined Amanda and Alan on holiday. The trio had what Amanda described as the ride of our lives on inflatable donuts, which, by the way, racked up more than 15 million views online after Alan took a rather splashy tumble. That moment alone could have won an entertainment award. Amanda later told Mail Online, "I feel like a proud BGT mom. I'm beyond happy for her and all her success since appearing on the show." And she wasn't just referring to the confetti and applause. Sydney had also shown up in Cornwall to wish Amanda luck as she set off on her charity cycle from Cornwall to London for Heart Breakfast. That's dedication. Professionally, Sydney's been on an absolute roll since her Britain's Got Talent win. She's shared the stage with big names like James Bay, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and Eurovision winner Nemo at the Royal Variety Performance. And when she released her debut album My Way, it shot straight to the top of iTunes in both the UK and the US. Not too shabby for someone who was riding the early bus to work not long ago. Her growing success even caught the attention of none other than Andrew Lloyd Webber, who encouraged her to release her own version of Starlight Express. And with 2 sold-out shows in America under her belt, it's safe to say Sydney's now making waves far beyond the BGT stage. Still, despite the glittering career moments, Sydney's staying grounded. In fact, she revealed she's heading back to school to finish her Level 3 personal training qualification. Yep, while she's belting out ballads on stage and lighting up arenas, she's also planning for real-world skills. Speaking to the Mirror, she explained, "I'm going back to school in March. I'm going to finish my Level 3 PT qualification. It's good to have something, just in case." That practical mindset makes Sydney even more relatable, especially when she opened up about her former early morning commutes. One memory that clearly stuck? Getting off a 4 a.m. bus with a less than fresh coat. "It was rough," she admitted. And while she's definitely not missing that part of the journey, her ability to look back with humor says a lot about her personality. She even confessed on This Morning that she forgot to claim her prize money right away. "Life took off and it didn't stop," she said with a laugh. "I was like, yes, I will give you my bank details at some point. I'm so sorry." It's the kind of thing that would stress most people out. But for Sydney, it's just part of the whirlwind she's been caught up in. It's not just Amanda rooting for her. The fan base Sydney's built since her BGT win spans across the globe. Between her powerhouse vocals, her down-to-earth personality, and the fact that she's managed to stay sweetly humble through it all, she's the kind of winner people don't just applaud, they genuinely adore. Whether she's dazzling audiences at the Royal Albert Hall, paddling around on holiday with her new showbiz pals, or quietly preparing for her next qualification exam, Sydnie Christmas is proving she's more than just a talent show winner. She's a true star, a fan favorite, and yes, according to Amanda Holden herself, a national treasure in the making. Controversy and criticism. Past performances revealed. When Sydnie Christmas lit up the Britain's Got Talent stage, the crowd instantly fell for her cheeky charm and jaw-dropping vocals. But while the judges were handing out standing ovations, some viewers were busy playing detective online. The buzz around her performance quickly turned into a swirl of questions, with many asking, "Is Sydney really the up-and-coming underdog we thought she was?" Things escalated fast on social media. One skeptical post on X read, "Come on, at Sydnie Christmas is already a professional," while another pointed out, "Everyone does know that Sydnie girl is a West End star already. Cheated her way to that golden buzzer." And just like that, whispers of the word "fix" started popping up everywhere, like glitter you can't sweep away. What sparked the eyebrow raising? Well, while Sydnie hasn't exactly been front and center on London's West End, she's definitely no stranger to the stage. She performed in the German production of Starlight Express, a musical that's rolled through over 7,000 shows. That's no small-town recital. And then came the memory joggers. Some fans swore they'd seen her before. I knew I recognized the girl's name. Sydnie Christmas was on the E4 reality show Stage School, one viewer posted, likening the show to a mix between Glee and Toei. Another added, "Finally someone who can sing on Stage School." Sydnie. With her resume slowly unraveling online, debates began swirling over what really counts as being new to the spotlight. Some viewers felt a bit misled, wondering if BGT should have been a little more upfront about her experience. Others defended her, saying being in the game for years doesn't always mean success has come easy. Sydnie herself opened up about her bumpy road in an interview with the Daily Mail, and honestly, it wasn't all glitz and curtain calls. "I have wanted to do this forever. I've been doing auditions for so many years and I thought, I haven't got a lot to lose now," she shared. She also got real about the heartbreak of chasing a dream that keeps slipping through your fingers, saying, "When you're not allowed to do that dream because people aren't letting you, that is soul-destroying." Despite the online chatter, the judges couldn't have been more impressed. Simon Cowell told her, "That reaction we just heard in the room is rare. You so deserve what you just got." And Amanda Holden wasn't shy either, calling her performance the best version I have ever heard in my life. Still, not everyone's ready to let the topic go. For some, Sydnie's story is tangled in debate, but for many others, it's just another example that the path to making it big isn't always a straight line, and sometimes it comes with a few plot twists. Sydnie's response and continued success. Sydnie Christmas might have expected a few raised eyebrows when she stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage, but what followed was a full-on swirl of applause, debates, and online commentary that could rival any soap opera. Her powerhouse performances may have won over the judges and audiences in record time, but the internet had other ideas, and plenty of them. As soon as she started gaining momentum on the show, whispers started circulating online. Some folks on social media decided they knew her entire resume, claiming she had already made it in the West End. One user on X boldly stated, "Sydnie Christmas is a professional singer, actress, already working in the West End. Thought BGT was for amateurs." And just like that, a casual tweet spiraled into full-blown speculation. The rumors, non-stop. The comments, flying in faster than Simon Cowell's buzzers during auditions. But Sydnie didn't just sit there and let the gossip run wild. She handled it like a pro, with a big smile and some well-placed honesty. Appearing on ITV's Lorraine, she was met head-on with Lorraine Kelly's signature no-nonsense style. Lorraine asked, "You've done the cruise ships? You've never been on the West End, though?" Sydnie, without missing a beat, replied, "No," followed by a laugh and a humble explanation. "I just I want to be a leading lady. That's the dream. That's the aim." She made it clear that Britain's Got Talent wasn't a stunt. Just to open a door, to try. "Let's have it. Let's give it a go," she said. And with that one line, she summed up the exact reason she joined the competition. To take a chance, not to pretend she hadn't worked hard before. Still, the criticism kept rolling. Some fans weren't exactly spreading glitter and good vibes, but instead of letting it bring her down, Sydnie clapped back with equal parts kindness and backbone. Talking to Mail Online, she shared how heavy it had been. "It's heartbreaking to see," she said, "but listen up. You don't know me or the fierce backbone I have. I owe that to my supportive family and friends." She added a heartfelt message to the naysayers. Just love here, always has been. I hand on heart wish you keyboard warriors happiness. It's hard seeing people so angry. Love overpowers all. And honestly, that kind of classy response deserves a standing ovation of its own. It wasn't just Mail Online that got a glimpse of Sydney's inner strength. She also opened up to Metro, revealing that the backlash took a toll. It's soul-destroying, she admitted. But there's nothing I can do to change their minds, so I've had to separate myself. Sometimes tuning out the noise is the best form of self-care. Meanwhile, fans who saw through the drama were having none of it. One supporter dug up a throwback video of Sydney singing from 9 years ago and shared it with the caption, "She's been working for this her whole life. Don't let anyone take this from her." Others chimed in, pointing out that BGT should be about raw talent, not paperwork or polished CVs. While Sydney's social media mentions were buzzing, the professional world noticed too. She revealed on This Morning that since winning, she's been approached by some very impressive agencies. Yes, the kind with A-list clients and glossy reputations. "Am I worthy enough to be on the page with these people?" she asked, clearly still getting used to her new reality. "It's just picking one that's right for you." Of course, winning Britain's Got Talent came with some perks, like a casual £250,000 and a slot to perform at the Royal Variety Show in front of King Charles and Queen Camilla. But when asked how she'd spend the prize money, Sydney didn't jump to sports cars or diamond tiaras. Instead, she joked, "I can now afford my singing coach Annabelle once a week." In true Sydney fashion, she's not putting all her eggs in one sparkly basket. Despite all the lights and applause, she's staying grounded. In fact, she told the Mirror she's going back to school to finish her Level 3 personal training qualification. "It's good to have something, just in case," she said. Practical and ambitious. What a combo. Backing her up every step of the way has been Amanda Holden, who seems to have taken on the role of proud honorary big sister. Amanda told Mail Online, "Sydney is undoubtedly a star. I've been stopped by more BGT fans this series than ever before about our Sydnie Christmas. I know she's destined for big things. She's my golden girl." It's no surprise Amanda's rooting for her. Sydney's been nothing but gracious and determined, even in the face of doubt. "There's nothing that breaks my heart more than to see the doubt, but I've said my truth," she said. And that's been her quiet superpower all along, staying true to herself. Through the whirlwind of attention, Sydney's shown everyone that what really matters isn't whether she's been on a big stage before. It's that she's ready to take on the world now. With that unshakable spirit, rising fan base, and the spotlight finally catching up to her talent, Sydnie Christmas is just getting started. And if this is just the beginning, get ready, because her curtain call is going to be one for the books. Other Britain's Got Talent contestants and similar controversies. This season of Britain's Got Talent wasn't exactly the smooth ride fans had hoped for. If anything, it felt like one of those fairground roller coasters. Bumpy, twisty, and with a few too many loops you didn't see coming. Sure, we got talent, a sprinkle of drama, and a handful of emotional moments, but something about it just didn't sit quite right. The big question echoing around online wasn't, who's going to win? It was more like, wait, are these contestants really amateurs? You see, what kicked off as a wholesome search for hidden gems somehow turned into a full-blown guessing game. Are we watching fresh-faced dreamers or seasoned performers in disguise? Several acts who got golden confetti showers and standing ovations ended up sparking whispers, side-eyes, and full-blown internet investigations over how undiscovered they really were. Take innocent Masuku, for example. When he stepped on stage, viewers were blown away by his operatic voice, judges included. But not long after, fans online started digging and found out he was no stranger to the spotlight. Masuku had already racked up some serious credentials. He won a Samro Merit Award in 2019, performed in well-known productions like Porgy and Bess and the Magic Flute, collaborated with Grammy-winning baritone Eric Owens, and graced world-class venues like Cape Town Opera and London Coliseum. Pretty impressive, right? Which made many fans raise a polite eyebrow and wonder, isn't this guy already a pro? Then there was Bobby Goldfin, the mysterious comedian who had the internet playing detective. After a rough first audition, he somehow pulled off a comeback that had people suspiciously impressed. Suddenly, folks online were suggesting he wasn't just some guy with a mic, but possibly last year's BGT winner Vigo Venn in a new costume. The theories got so intense it felt like an episode of a guessing game show. Whether that theory holds water or not, it raises a pretty valid point. If someone already has a huge online following or past exposure, do they really belong in a talent search meant for unknowns? Geneviève Coté, one of 2023's most memorable finalists, also found herself in the middle of this debate. Known for her magical ability to mimic nature sounds, Coté definitely brought something different to the BGT stage. But as viewers soon found out, this wasn't her first rodeo, not even close. She had already earned a golden buzzer on Canada's Got Talent, appeared on France's Got Talent, and was even a part of the America's Got Talent Fantasy League. Her Canadian performance racked up billions of views. Billions. It's hard to argue with that logic. Then we had Ravi's Dream Team, who melted hearts and earned Alicia Dixon's golden buzzer. Their story was emotional and their energy was uplifting, but what quietly flew under the radar was their success. Turns out they'd already recorded a charity single alongside big-name musicians like Damon Albarn and Paloma Faith. Not exactly the just got discovered at a bus stop vibe, right? With those connections, some viewers couldn't help but wonder if the playing field was getting a little tilted. Of course, we can't forget Hear Our Voice, one of the most talked about acts of the season. Their emotional performance tied to the Horizon IT scandal had the judges and audience in tears. Judge Bruno Tonioli didn't hold back when he shouted, "The ordeal you've been subjected to is unimaginable," during the semi-finals. While he was clearly referring to their real-life struggles, many fans felt the same way about the show itself. All of this has stirred up one massive conversation about what BGT actually stands for now. The show was once celebrated for finding everyday people, folks who sing in their kitchens, perform at community theaters, or dream big from small towns. But it felt like the stage belonged more to people with professional bios than fresh faces. Sure, there's no rule that says professionals can't compete, but when the messaging is all about unearthing undiscovered talent, it feels a little confusing when the acts already have awards, major performances, or viral fame in the bag. Then, just to make things more interesting, or more chaotic depending on how you look at it, Britain's Got Talent decided to introduce extra golden buzzers in the semi-finals. Yup, they weren't just for auditions anymore, and it didn't go unnoticed. One cheeky comment circulating online joked, "We don't trust you to vote for the acts we want, so we're just going to buzz them into the finals ourselves." Honestly, it's hard not to laugh, or nod in agreement. On top of all that, the season felt unusually long. Why? Because ITV stretched the show's run to fill the hole left by Saturday Night Takeaway's exit. The result? Viewers felt like they were stuck in a never-ending talent loop. Even loyal fans started losing patience. That sentiment hit home for a lot of people. Still, not everyone is ready to throw in the towel. Some viewers argue that talent is talent, regardless of background. Just because someone has had a few gigs or viral videos doesn't mean they've made it. But for others, the balance feels a bit off. They feel the show is more about creating viral YouTube moments than genuinely giving everyday folks a shot at the spotlight. Here we are, once again asking, has Britain's Got Talent quietly changed its mission without saying it out loud? If it's about pure entertainment, sure, it's still delivering the goods. But if it's meant to showcase fresh, never-before-seen talent, well, maybe it's time to clear up exactly what counts as amateur in 2025. Because these days, under all that glitter and glam, it's getting harder to tell who's being discovered and who just took a scenic detour back to the spotlight. So, what do you think about this topic? Let us know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Check out the 2 videos on screen that might just become your next favorites. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting content coming soon.